As President of the United States, I will always put America first. Just like you, as the leader of your country, will always and should always put your country first. All responsible leader has an obligation to serve their own citizens, and the nation state remain the best vehicle for elevating the human condition. But making a better life for our people also requires us to work together in close harmony and United States to create a more safe and peaceful future for all people. The United States will forever be a great friend to the world and especially to its allies. But we can no longer to take advantage of enter into a one-side deal where the United States gets nothing in return. As long as I hold this office, I will defend American interests above on self, but in fulfilling our obligation to our nation. We also realize that in everyone's interest to set the future where all nations can be sovereign, prosperous, and secure. America does more than speak, for the value is read in the United Nations Charter. Our citizens have paid the united price to defend our freedom and the freedom of many nations represented in this region. America's devotion is measured on the battlefield where our young men and women have fought and sacrificed alongside of our allies. From the peace of Europe to the deserts of the Middle East to the struggle of Asia. It is an internal reality to the American character that even after we and of allies emerged victorious from the poorest war in history, we did not see terror expansions of attempt to oppose and impose our way of life on others. Instead, we have your institution the reality zone for us to confront the question the question we not escape and avoid. We will size out the complexity known to changes, stress, and even work that we face. I do not have enough trains in right to confront the dangers today, so that our citizens can enjoy peace and prosperity today, tomorrow. Every child to live of our citizens and fear to the approval of history. Then we must fulfill our sovereignty to people we faithfully represent. We must protect our nation, their interests, and their future. We must rest authority from the South China Sea. We must respect for the painful engagement and conflict together. Those who return us with child, turmoil, and terror. The score of our planet today is vulnerable and regime that violate every principle that the United Nations respect neither their own citizens nor sovereign rights of their country. If the righteous many do not confront the few, and evil will triumph. When there's a people and nation become hatred to hatred, for destruction, only guided forward and trained. No one has so more content for the nation and for the well-being of their own people than the destruction in North Korea. It is responsible for the starvation death of millions of North Koreans and for the imprisonment, torture, killing, and oppression. We were willing to repeatedly appeal when an innocent American college student were returned to America only died a few days later. We saw it in the assassinations of the destructor brother using banned never changed in the international airport. We know it kidnapped a sweet 13-year-old Japanese girl from a beach in her own country to enslave her as a language tutor for North Korea's spy. If this is not threat enough, now North Koreans relay pursuits of nuclear weapons and visits and return the entire world with unthinkable loss of human life. It is an outrage that some nations would not only trade with such a regime, but will arms supply and financially support a country that imperils the world with nuclear conflict. No nation on earth has enlisted insane bands of criminal arms itself with nuclear weapons and missiles. The United States has great trains and patents, but it is far to depend itself or its ally. We will have no joy but total destroy North Korea. Proclaims it on assassinations for himself and for his regime. The United States is really willing and able, but hopefully this will not be necessary. That's what the United Nations is all about. That's what the United Nations is for. Let's see how they do. It is time for North Korea to realize that the denuclearization is not only a acceptable future. The United Nations Security Council reasoned how to unarmed 50 won't adopt hard system result against North Korea. And I want to thank China and Russia for joining the vote to impose sanctions along with all of the other members of the Security Council. Thank you on involved.